Hi, this is trepacer. This is my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 15, One Door Closes. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, One Door Closes. Anyway, as you see, you remember from the previous episode, Hunter escaped, when the other S.H.I.E.L.D., I was going to say other Hydra, but the other S.H.I.E.L.D., the one led by Edward James Olmos, they had him on the ship, and he broke free after talking with Bobby and took one of those gate pads and buggered off. Anyway, this episode actually is very interesting because this episode is where everything happens, where the other S.H.I.E.L.D., led by Edward James Olmos and Bobby and Mac, you have Mac working on Lola. Coulson finally gives him the privilege of working on Lola, and he kind of says it's a great honor to do that. And of course, then Coulson, who already knows, as we know from the last episode, knows that Mac is a spy, and basically everybody in the garage turns around and points guns at him. Okay, and at the same time, Bobby comes back to the ship or the bus. Okay, and she has her plan, and she disables the bus. Okay, and also she basically goes in to look for that little cube that Fury left to Coulson that has all the all the info and stuff on all the top secret projects and all that stuff that he left. That he actually gave to Coulson. Of course, at that point, May finds her, and they kind of have a nice little fight for about 5 minutes. And at which point, I think the lights go out, and Bobby buggers off. Anyway, what I like about this episode is also they show flashbacks to the day, S.H.I.E.L.D. fell from, Captain America: Winter Soldier. They basically show them on the ship, Mac and Bobby. They're getting, actually, it's Mac and a bunch of other red shirts are getting interrogated, by the Hydra, asking for the schematics of the ship. And one guy who steps up instead of, for Mac and basically says he's the engineer, he gets shot. Mac steps up and says, no, I'm the engineer, he's just lying. And the guy shoots him, of course, and then, of course, Bobby throws in a cell phone, which temporarily distracts the Hydra agents, and she comes in guns a-blazing and kills everybody except, the Mac and the other red shirts. Okay? And then, they flash back to the present, and Mac actually gets away from Coulson and the garage guys with the guns when the lights go out. Okay, so he manages to escape. Okay, in the meantime, Bobby goes, and I think she turns on the communication to let Edward James Olmos and crew that, we've got the package and you can come on to the bus. We disable the bus, you can come on and infiltrate and take over. At the same time, also, prior to this, you have Simmons talking to Skye over, via I guess Skype, maybe even secure line, telling her that, try the gloves, they're for your protection. And Skye actually, puts them on, to try to, control her powers. Okay, and then we flash back to the present, exact where, again, they're looking for Bobby, and actually Bobby comes upon Simmons, okay, and she tries to trick her, but Simmons is smarter than that. She hands Bobby something. She said, hold this, I'm looking for something that's biologically, and then she gives her another thing, and it knocks her out, at which point she calls Coulson to let her know she's got Bobby. And also at the same time, you have Coulson. They actually get overrun. They actually get overrun on the ship, and Fury gets captured. Okay, and May is actually still hiding. Okay, so they can't find her, but they have Coulson, and that's when Edward James almost comes on the ship and basically explains to Coulson the beef with them, that how Fury brought him back from the dead, and he's been obsessed with this alien, thing. He went down to Puerto Rico and blew up that thing, and they really want S.H.I.E.L.D. to be right and not so obsessed with them. And they also want to find Skye, at which point they send Bobby volunteers to go with another agent to go retrieve Skye from the hidden cabin that Coulson put her in the last episode. Okay, and also now at the same time, what else is going on? They keep showing flashbacks, which is good, of the ship, that they're on, where, actually the plan was Bobby's plan. She has a second order back in the past to basically blow the ship, so Hydra doesn't get their hands on it. Okay, but Mac doesn't want to hear it. And also, I forgot to mention Lucy Lawless's character, who was at the beginning of this season, and then I think she died. Yeah, she did die, but she got the alien, that omnibus thing. She touched it, and she wound up dying. But anyway, in this flashback, she's on the ship and she's helping, fight Hydra. And basically, she wants to, and Mac wants to, not blow up the ship. They want to save this. They want to take the ship back. But Edward James Olmos, who's on that ship and is the commander of that ship, he's wounded. He said, "Listen, we got to follow the orders. This is what the orders are." Fury gives the orders to blow up the ship. And they said, and Bobby said, "You know what? Screw this. We're not going to do that. We're going to take back the ship. All our dead friends are on this ship, and we're not going to get other people on other parts of the ship are fighting. We're not going to just give up the ship. We're going to fight for it." Okay, and then there's a big dramatic moment where the doors get blown open, and they all stand, guns ablazing, and they go out that way. Okay. Also now we not flashback. We go back to the present where Coulson is being interrogated by not interrogated, but is questioned by Edward James Olmos' character with guards outside the door. And of course, May comes in and ices them, and ices Edward James Olmos, and gives Fury. He gives Coulson okay, so travel bags. So here, you're gonna have to be gone for a couple. You're gonna have to disappear. And she opens a fake door, and he gets in an elevator and scurries away. And then more agents come in, and of course May gives up. Okay, and then I forgot Bobby and the other agent who go to retrieve Skye at the cabin, at Fury's cabin. May manages to get a message to Skye to run out that S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming for you, and she runs out. And of course, I forgot to mention too one other thing in the beginning of the episode. Gabriel, the guy with the blind eyes, the Inhuman. That's what I'm gonna call him, the Inhuman blind guy. I think his name is Gabriel. Okay, he visits Skye. Actually, not in the beginning. I guess towards the middle, he visits Skye and basically tells her that her powers are a gift, and that he had the same problem initially, not being scared of his powers, but he's grown to really appreciate his powers, and he could take her to a place where he can train her, but only if she wants to go. Okay, and then he said, well, how, she said, well, only when you're ready. And she said, well, how will I know I'm ready? She said, you'll know. Okay, and then he leaves. He's a teleporter. Okay, and so then we flash back again, not flash back, but forward again to towards the end of the episode where Skye is being chased in the woods by the S.H.I.E.L.D. and Bobby's with them to have a familiar face, when they try to capture her. But the overzealous agent fires a bullet at Skye instead of having an ice her like Bobby wanted, and he fires a bullet at her, and then Skye turns around and actually pulses the bullet and everything else in front of it. She knocks down a whole force, and you see the agent and Bobby go backward and do a little roll, and then Skye calls for Gabriel, and he comes, and she says, "I'm ready now," and he takes her, and bash, they vanish. Okay, and that's how it ends before the commercial break. And then we come back, and then we see Coulson in Tahiti, I believe, drinking a little Mai Tai, and then who shows up? The Hunter, saying, "Sorry, I'm late." These little boats that he commandeered in the last episode, and then he basically signs a piece of paper. He said, "This is my offer to join your group. Consider that my official signing on," and hands it to him, and then that's how it goes off. So overall, this is a good episode. I like the flashbacks to when S.H.I.E.L.D. fell initially and stuff, and Lucy Lawless. That was always good to have Lucy Lawless on an episode kicking ass. So that was good. And I forgot to mention too, the teacher that was I think she was in the last season, who taught Fitz and Simmons. She was there also because she's part of the other S.H.I.E.L.D. She's part of their, I guess, little committee, and she greets Fitz and Simmons, and basically, tells them what she's doing it for, and she grabs Gemma and takes her over to help Mac, and and actually you see Fitz and Simmons actually they start to reconnect because when everybody's taken over, they kind of hold hands to kind of comfort each other. So that was at least they're more comforting to each other now instead of Fitz being really mad at Simmons. Okay, but anyway, I think this was a good episode overall. I'm gonna give it a 7. It was good. 7.5. Yeah, I'll give it 7.5. I like the flashbacks of when S.H.I.E.L.D. fell. That was good. I like that part, and I like the conversation between Edward James Olmos' character and Coulson. That was good. That was good. So, again, I'm looking forward to next week because next week from the preview, it looks like we're going to have Skye interacting with more of the Inhumans, and then I guess and then also Coulson going to be trying to find Skye and retake S.H.I.E.L.D. from the other S.H.I.E.L.D. It should be interesting to see how that goes. Anyway, feel free to let me know what you think of this episode. If you've seen it, feel free to leave comments down below. And this is trepacer saying so long and take care.